Hey everyone, thanks for dropping by the channel. Please subscribe and help us out. Today we're going to discuss the Alien franchise and give away everything we know about Alien Romulus. So caution, spoilers might be present here purely based on my guesswork. Romulus is set between the first Alien film, where Ripley's on the Nostromo, and the second Aliens film, where Ripley is adrift in space. Romulus is the 7th solo Alien movie, and the 9th in the franchise, counting the 2 Alien vs. Predator films. The often confusing Alien timeline is important in unpacking some of the clues in the Romulus trailer, so let's spend a few minutes reviewing them. Year 2089 is when Holloway and Shaw discover the star maps. In 2093, the spaceship Prometheus lands on LV-223. Chaos ensues in the Damon Lindelof cinematic mess of half-formed ideas about the engineer's backstory. Prometheus manages to have a plot that is both impossibly stupid and overly complicated at the same time. But it is pretty to look at, so thanks Ridley. Eventually Shaw and David take an alien spaceship back to the engineer's homeworld, where David is again very naughty. At some point, that ship also crashes, leaving the couple marooned. Moving on to year 2104, where colonists on the spaceship Covenant receive Shaw's recorded distress signal. Our new female protagonist, Daniels, is the voice of reason here, strongly advising against landing on this unvetted, perfect planet. But of course, she is ignored, and more chaos ensues.
Are you sure about this?
How do you mean?
We've spent a decade searching for Origai 6. We vetted it. We ran the simulations, we mapped the terrain. It's what we trained for. And now we're gonna scrap all that to chase a rogue transmission.
Covenant also has one of my favorite lines from the franchise.
Watch me. I'll do the fingering.
At the end of Covenant, naughty android David regurgitates 2 xenomorph facehugger embryos and places them with the embryos of the colonists. Now remember, there are 2,000 colonists in stasis and another 1,140 human embryos in cold storage, as well as Tennessee and Daniels, who both survived and are now deep in cryosleep. Presumably David is still on his way to Origai 6, where he'll continue his mad scientist xenomorph experimentation. Now we jump ahead 18 years to year 2122, where the commercial spacecraft Nostromo is returning home when they're unexpectedly awakened and sent on a mission from the Weyland-Yutani Corporation to answer a distress call on LV-426. Chaos ensues aboard ship, and only our heroine Ripley and Jonesy the cat survive.
Oh, God!
No, no, no!
Don't touch it! Don't touch it!
After blowing the xenomorph into space, Ripley and her cat go into cryosleep. 57 years later, in year 2179, Ripley is rescued, only to find out that a settlement was placed on LV-426 and that they had recently stopped responding. I wonder why. She's persuaded to return to the planet where, you guessed it, chaos ensues. Now Romulus takes place in that sweet spot between 2122 and 2179 while Ripley is taking her long nap. Originally, Ridley Scott's plan was to make Prometheus 3, titled Alien Awakening, continuing the David and Engineer's storylines. But the lukewarm reception to Prometheus and Covenant gave Disney, the new owners of the Alien franchise, pause. Enter Fede Alvarez, a director known for his contribution to the horror genre, not sci-fi. With Evil Dead and Don't Breathe under his belt, he brings a very young, virtually unknown new cast to Romulus. Alvarez told The Hollywood Reporter, "There's a moment in Cameron's Aliens where you see a bunch of kids running around the corridors of this colony, and I thought, wow, what would it be like for those kids to grow up in a colony that still needs another 50 years to terraform? So I remember thinking, if I ever tell a story in that world, I would definitely be interested in those kids when they reach their early 20s. And here we have Romulus."
The Alien franchise holds such a iconic space in cinematic history.
The whole idea behind this film was to really take it back to basics and make it a pure horror movie again.
This story slips right in between Alien and Aliens.
Rain and her brother Andy are the hard story.
Are we leaving?
Denied. Again.
I don't want to end up like our parents. Do you?
The ship's our way out of here.
Welcome to the Romulus space station.
There's a lot of secrets and things they don't know inside that ship that will cost them dearly.
Oh my God.
Just like Ridley did with Alien 1, and Fede made a point in not green screening it.
As a fan of the franchise, he knew it needed to be gritty and grounded. So we built every creature for real.
This film brings all of the things that we love from this franchise, so you know it's going to be properly scary.
If you don't stay quiet, we all die.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Alvarez is determined to go back to basics and make the film pure horror. I think most of us are fine with that. Jump scares, dark corners, claustrophobia, and all the creepy things the audience loved about Alien and Aliens. Disney is tight-lipped on specific plot details. However, the studio is notorious for giving away way too many plot points in their trailers, and Romulus is no exception to that. It's a pity because the teaser trailer was perfect, exciting and enticing, showing just enough but not too much. The trailers which followed reveal pretty much everything, which led to this video, which has predictions and potential spoilers, even though I haven't viewed a preview copy of the film yet.
I don't know.
Our stars appear to be young colonists from LV-426, Hadley's Hope, before the colony is completely overrun and stops communicating with Earth. Romulus is a seemingly abandoned space station that's in the vicinity. Now, it may also be simply another, as yet unseen planet in the midst of terraforming. It does, however, seem unlikely that this story connects with David and the Origai 6 colonists, which is a shame. The 6 young people in the story hatch a plan to get aboard the space station and steal some highly regulated equipment.
You want to break in and steal highly regulated equipment.
This could be our only ticket out of here. Should be in and out in 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Romulus space station.
It looks like they commandeer a small shuttle, thus becoming space pirates. They're poor, and they're desperate for a way to get out of their current circumstances. 3 boys and 3 girls. Alvarez sticks to the franchise premise that the women are the badasses, and the men are basically the idiots. So Rain and Kay will probably live the longest, with Kay making the ultimate sacrifice in the 3rd act to save Rain. Rain is the only one that expresses doubt about their scavenging plan. Now we know that Rain is the star of the film because she's the only character IMDb listed as having a last name. It's Carradine, by the way. And also because the main heroine in Alien films is always a pretty white girl with darkish hair and a utilitarian, slightly lesbian haircut. The other girl, Navarro, looks to be the first to die. She got to pose for the poster with a facehugger and does a self-exam with a handheld scanner showing the impregnated alien writhing within her torso. Now, one of the problems with this, and there are many, is that we as an audience can't have any empathy for a character that we know for certain is going to die. We can't be bothered to get emotionally invested. It's moronic for the marketing folks at Disney to put spoilers like this in the trailer. 2 of the boys are obvious lunkheads, another trope in the franchise. Tyler and Bjorn deserve to die since they probably hatched the harebrained scheme to steal from the restricted space station.
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the water?
I don't know, there's just something in the fucking water.
One of them certainly deserves to die simply for his terrible Cockney accent. It looks like one of the boys is in the water with an escaped facehugger, and the other gets a thorny spike to his nose.
Whatever comes, we'll face it together.
Let's go.
The 3rd boy, Andy, is our resident android. The central relationship in the story is around Rain, played by Kaylee Spaney, and her synthetic brother Andy, played by David Johnson. We can tell Andy is an android by his posture, the serial number on his lower eyeball, and by the fact that no 20-year-old black man would go by the name Andy. Of course, there's the secret Wayland lab where they are, or were, still attempting to weaponize the xenomorphs. Instead of the classic alien eggs, now we have facehuggers incubating in space-saving wall coverings. The 3rd act must include the ultimate destruction of the space station, apparently by decaying its orbit and crashing it into the ice rings surrounding the planet. My prediction is that Romulus is going to make a boatload of money for Disney. It's fun, it's certainly familiar territory, and they got a bargain since they didn't have to pay any A-list salaries. I'd love to see David the android make a cameo in Romulus. In fact, I'd love any surprise in the storytelling. But it all seems very predictable. And they showed us all the goods before we even bought a ticket. Alien Romulus is in theaters on August 16th. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon.